Hello, I'm Camden Hurd, and I'll be talking about the future of finance, more specifically, behavioral and decentralized finance. So, this presentation was inspired by Professor Cam Harvey and the podcast Trendsetters FTX DeFi and the Future of Finance, and also was inspired by the book Misbehaving by Richard H. Thaler. So, just starting off, I want you to picture a world in which you go to the grocery store and you pull out your phone and you have multiple options to pay for your groceries, whether that be cash, whether that be some NFT or Apple coins. This vision is what finance is actually being transitioned to, where most assets are now put on a seamless ledger where anyone can use. The idea being that now from your phone you can instantly transfer payments. Also, this will highly reduce the need for a middleman, and most blockchain wizards really want the banks gone. So now all of finance is moving towards the speed of a click. So, in theory, this all sounds great, but the major problem is that decentralized finance won't shape the future of finance as much as our own fears, biases, and human behavior will. So let's deep dive into behavioral finance, especially irrationality, right? We went in class, we went over the irrationality of our own human lives. We take drill sergeants to yell at us in order for us to be properly prepared for the battlefield. Similarly, Thaler had a similar example in terms of more economics of the story of the cashew, in which groups of people were given cashews before dinner, and they actually thanked Thaler for removing the cashews, removing choices away from him, in order to not spoil their dinner. So, more irrationality. So just these beginning irrationalities kind of paved the way for this idea of nudge theory, that gentle steering into the right direction is actually better. Dan Ariely, author of Predictably Irrational, has shown that context and framing also really matters in our decisions, and that just one step removal from real money makes our moral compass all out of line. And this is extremely dangerous, especially when we're moving towards a one-step removal from real cash in terms of digital currency now. FOMO, fear of missing out, and overconfidence really lead to extreme bias in our decision making. You can see how this will be an extreme problem in the future of finance, especially as everyone's on social media. This was really prevalent for the GameStop controversy, where people like Roaring Kittens joined online groups of communities to kind of boost up the price of GameStop. So these social medias kind of create these echo chambers where rational values are kind of excluded from the mix. And that is not very good for financial markets. And this irrational attitude gets popularized and spread online, especially through memes. This one here is the meme is that stonks only go up. And now this all leads to decentralized finance. And how is decentralized finance going to deal with these biases? So again, the idea of DeFi is kind of like a vending machine. You put value in and you get value out, no middleman. And in return, this will hopefully lead to a world where not just one currency is the main one, and there's multiple ways to exchange values. But with innovations come problems. One example is the Terra USD coin, in which a parent stable coin was not as stable at all, and in a short amount of time, around $40 to $45 billion was wiped off the planet Earth. So this issue kind of stems back from why DeFi is so popular, and it's that we usually have to trust the banking system when we prefer more transparency. But when you have a stable coin like Terra USD, it has to be backed in real assets like cash, or else there's no trust there, and then any economic gravity will tumble the situation. Another goal of this DeFi movement is tokenization by putting real asset into digital tokens. And the idea being that we have private equity and real estate that is not really liquid or available to the public and retail investors. So the idea is to, if we put that all onto the blockchain, it can make it access to anyone. So this is where now some problems in behavioral finance start to show in DeFi. And the first example is herding and hype. So things like social media and these new technologies are allowing people to do what people want to do, join groups and kind of join on trends. And a lot of these trends are formed from rumors or misinformation. So it's almost spreading like wildfire. And things like bank runs in the past that took a little bit to happen now can happen almost instantly over online. Another problem is overconfidence. Day trading and courses around day trading have become very popular online, and people that really shouldn't be day trading are now day traders. And this kind of is just gamifying the whole system, and where people in online communities really just enjoy high risk bets because it's high risk. So one benefit would be that AI and algorithms are allowing us to remove the human bias and selection and noise, and now more people can get money that they need. But this also has more biases, and where algorithms have biases, or algorithms are quick to pull funding when you need more of a human touch involved there. And now this kind of brings the idea of nudging again, especially versus good and evil, right? So AI can be used to nudge you in a good way to maybe reallocate your portfolio or understand what's going on that might not be as politically biased. But it then can also be used to nudge you in a very bad way too. So people online, bots, spamming, anything that can potentially nudge you in the wrong way, especially when people are constantly on social media looking at these posts every day. And this kind of leads to the main problem and the main argument against crypto is this criminality and the popularization of being a criminal. In this example, we have a young kid who's actively scamming and rug pulling on Solana blockchains. And the meme is thanks for the 20 bandos, implying that these investors basically gave him free money. So what does the future of finance look like? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but these are some of my takeaways and insights. Number one is that we're moving to more of a hybrid model, and that hybrid models will be the best. Even though there's been a big drive through AI, tokenization, and everything to just put everything on a blockchain and to have algorithms do everything, they come with their own biases. And even though they strongly reduce human bias, we're still not going to eliminate all of it. And the best types of model will probably be more hybrid. Number two is more independence. So I think this whole movement of DeFi, it really stems from the want of being a more independent investor, more independence in your finance and your financial decisions. So I think in the future, as technology gets better, we're going to see more personal advisors, more independent finance, and more of a more strong relationship to doing finance on your own. Number three is that human bias will always be here, and if not, will almost get worse. So, and the reason I say this is because of two things, of echo chambers and nihilism. Echo chambers, as we saw, are probably going to get worse as social media and technology and the internet keeps on expanding and expanding. You're going to find more communities that are participating in high risk trading. And this kind of stems from social media creating this kind of financial nihilism, and also from pure just wealth inequality, where this behavior is accepted and promoted because it's viewed as your only solution to an unstoppable problem. So I've been Camden Hurd, and that was a little bit on the future of finance, decentralized finance and behavioral finance, how that might look like in the future. I thank you so much for listening.